Hello, everybody. This is a Lamley showcase. This is a great one. So excited for this. Head-to-head. F1. Mini GT, Tarmac Works behind the box, Hot Wheels Premium. And this is like legit. I know a lot of times I'll put, I'll say, hey, Mini GT did this car and here's the Hot Wheels Premium version. You can't really compare them because their approaches are very different. Well, Hot Wheels has a very premium approach to this new F1 line they're doing. I've got the basics over here for fun. We'll talk about those in a little bit. But we already did the unboxing. Here are the models, and this approach means we can go truly head-to-head, and we can pick a winner. You can pick a winner. I'm going to do the comparing. You decide. I know we're all a little biased. We all have our favorites, but let's do it because Hot Wheels went all in on the premium F1 cars. And what we haven't done, and I've done sneak peeks, I've put these on the turntable when I did the sneak peek with Rob in February, but what I didn't do is take them off of their little platform here. So we're going to do that, and we're going to put them up against Mini GT and the Tarmac Works models back there. So first off, let's showcase these premiums, right? I've said I was going to open them. Let's go ahead and do it. We have, as if you remember from the unboxing, there are two Red Bulls, right? Number 1 and number 11. We're going to put those off to the side because there were 2 of each in this one. There were there's six original castings and then 2 repeats, and it was both from the Red Bull team. Then we had we had the number 20 from Haas and the number 31 from Alpine. It was noted that I said it wrong. That's what happens when you start doing videos. You just start saying things, and I've done, as I've said many, many times, not the first, not the last that I will pronounce things wrong. Alpine team. Let's move this. There were 2 of, so there's the number 31. There's also the number 10 from the Alpine team. And then there's the number 20 and the number 27 from the Haas MoneyGram team, F1 team over here. Okay, so there is the back. That's what it looks like. There is that. If you are looking for it in stores, like I said, it will be soon. There's people who pre-ordered them on Mattel Creations. Let's just go ahead. Obviously, excellent art. Let's go ahead and open these up. All right. You can just get a sense. There is no second part of the blister. It's its own original blister. And here is the model. Now, what we'll do, let's go ahead and just keep these on their little bases real quickly while we open these up. Here is the number 20. Go ahead and, everything else is the same. There is, but is it going to say Formula One, everything Haas? I guess I can just look at this is number 20 and this is number 27. I was like, where does it say it's the number? But on the car, right? Because it's the car. All right. Anyway. Alpine, number 10. Artwork. I noticed something interesting as we do this. Notice the angles. I wonder if that, the angle's pretty much the same. They're a little slightly different. Obviously, the cars are different. We'll talk about that. But the angle on the Red Bull is very different, and I wonder what the choice was there with the artwork. Notice it's a little bit of a taller person took the picture of the Red Bull. We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, the art's fabulous. Okay, there was that. There's the first car. There's some legit weight to these. And the other number 31. That. And now the 2 Red Bulls. Number 1. I'm just going by the numbers because that's what they put. Oh, I didn't really show you the artwork. I did show you, but I didn't show you the back. I don't think anything is different, but there's that. So there's number 1. We'll get to some of the other details here. Okay. And number 20. Or sorry, number 11. All right. So we've got them open. first thing we got to do is we have to get them off of these little plinths, so we can get a real sense of how do these roll. I mean, this is nice. First off, I mean, if I started, I guess the first comparison I can do, if we pull out this extra one so you can see it, who wins the packaging battle? Well, first off, this is a very nice presentation, and Hot Wheels, I think it would be kind of odd for them to not do a blister, because the blister cards are just a signature part of the Hot Wheels world, right? And so I don't, I mean, I like the packaging. At the same time, it's not as conducive to, you know, it's Hot Wheels Premium, it's got the gold, it's got all that stuff. It's on that level as, say, Car Culture, but this blister is massive, and I just as soon, and I don't know who made this choice to give it this base. That's fine. This, to me, isn't. But I could also see that, like, just me personally, I don't like it. But I could also see that as they're negotiating with F1, maybe having these identifiers, I mean, it's on the car, right? But having these identifiers once the package is open and you can get the car off, was something that maybe F1 wanted and Hot Wheels had to do. Now, I'm not sure if that's the case, because we can see with the other brands that didn't happen, and obviously with the Hot Wheels Basic that didn't happen. So I'm not entirely sure why that choice was made, but nonetheless. So here we are. Okay, first off, that's a metal chassis, plastic. What do you call that part? The plastic wings here. I know they're not wings. That's plastic. And we're going to take a couple of the cars off, because as we did talk to Rob, he did mention that, you know, these are one of the portions of the cars that are different, and they did cast them differently. So we'll do a comparison there. The wheels are Real Riders, and they were constructed specifically for the F1 cars. So here's your first test. That's really good. That's some signature Hot Wheels right there. That rolls smooth. Now, let's see how this goes. Now, I've got the padded thing here, but remove this for just a second. Put the camera down. Now let's give it a proper test. Real Rider tires, so they are rubber tires, and that runs really smooth. Trying to make it stop here, right? That's really nice. We'll do some comparisons. You know what? We have to do our first comparison right now, so let's just get, well, you know what? Here's our first comparison. This one will be faster, the basic, but not bad. Really not bad. And just out of curiosity, we'll look at the cars later, so I'm not going to go too detailed on actually, but we'll pull out the Mini GT just for the heck of it. That ain't bad either. Okay, the roll test. Honestly, it's a tie. The Hot Wheels roll smooth. I didn't do the here. You know what? We gotta be fair. Tarmac. This is actually, I'm saying Tarmac, but IXO actually produced this model. We'll do it on the mat first. This thing is almost, it is quite a bit lighter than the other two. It's pretty detailed. We'll get into that. And it rolls pretty smooth too. Okay, enough of that. Roll test over. They all passed. They're all good. All right, let's get back to this. Let's get these two Haas models off. We've got the number 27. Here's the number 20. Put that right there. Move that off to the side. Alpine. Number 31. And number 10. and Red Bull. Honestly, I know I'm doing this comparison. I honestly don't know how, because I was deliberately did not open or screw these off because I want to have an honest reaction in the video. And you know, but I am noticing as I pull these off, there, you know, that whole like Hot Wheels will be Hot Wheels and Mini GT will be Mini GT kind of thing. Tarmac will be Tarmac. It's kind of applying as I do this. These have Hot Wheels weight to them that a premium model would have, that classic Hot Wheels did. You know, they're obviously a little lighter now, but there's some real weight to these, quite a bit more than the Mini GT, and a significant more. This almost, as detailed as it is, it makes this feel like a plastic toy you'd get at I mean, it doesn't look like it, but it feels like a plastic toy you'd get at a grocery store, like, you know, in a little dollar bin. Honestly, that's how it feels, which is not great. So here's the Haas. Now, I'll just put, you know, you've got your numbers 27 and 20. I can show you the comparisons. I can go up close on the helmets, which is a really nice detail. I know that Mini GT has the helmets too. I don't know if Tarmac does. I'll have to look. All the other details I think are relatively the same. I think the car, because the cars are built the same. There's the bases. If you want to see the chassis, you got Haas. And then of course we'll just put one of them on the turntable. So you've got, I think, okay, so you've got metal chassis, plastic sides, metal body, maybe part like of an interior, but these are done premium. This is why they're going to be more expensive, because you can tell in hand that there's more to these than, say, your average Car Culture. So if Car Culture is running $7 now, between $7 and $8, or $6.50 and $8, you can see why this would be just slightly more, because there is more detail in these. Here is Alpine. Show you the front. There's all the logos. You're getting, when you go super up close, you get that inkjet look. I know that'll be a knock on Hot Wheels, and I understand that. Helmets do look really cool, all things considered. I mean, this is so up close. The Real Riders are really nice, you know, because they can do all the detailing that they want to on these. All right, let's put one of them on the turntable. Yeah, plastic. The axles up front are plastic. Well, you know, metal axle, I guess, but the plastic portion that holds the wheels, and that is plastic. But a ton of metal on these, and like I said, a really good amount of weight. And they roll so well. Width of the tires obviously is different, wide in the back and more narrow in the front. And then these skirts, these side skirts, you can see, and Rob attested to this, that they did the side skirts differently based on the actual cars. So they were able to get down and dirty with these. Now, the difference here, I guess we could do this, well, we'll do this with Oracle. I guess I'll do it in a second. Let's look at the two Oracle, number 11 and number 1. Beautifully detailed. All the logos are there. Let's go ahead and put good old Max on the turntable. It's rad. And I'm looking forward. Obviously, we have others coming. I'm a Mercedes fan, and looking forward to those. And, you know, so all of those will be coming later. All right, let's move the camera back up. You got yourself a showcase. We saw the models. Now let's do a little bit of comparison. So let's get into, I picked out 3 Mini GTs that we're going to open. We'll just leave our basics there for a second. I obviously pulled out, this is the 2022, since I already put, I could show you the packaging. Red Bull Racing, RB18 number 1, Max Verstappen 2022, Max Verstappen, 2022 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix winner. Red Bull number 1, we've opened up that one. I'll do the AlphaTauri AT04 number 22, 2023 F1. Like I said, I don't think Mini GT has done a 2024 yet. I assume we might see that coming up. Here that is. You can just get a sense of the details before we do the comparison. Just beautiful. Details are tremendous on this one. We'll add that, and then a third one that I picked out, and there's plenty to pick from. Obviously, I only have over in this corner, I have a fraction of what they've done. Let's do McLaren number 4 Japanese Grand Prix, second place, Lando Norris. Yeah, we should do a Lando, right? I think that's a fair one at this point doing this video. Fabulous detailing in the wheels. Mini GT, not as much metal, but they can really roll with the details because they're working on that. Where they're working with that plastic, you know, these aren't as durable as Hot Wheels, but they do hold their own for sure. But yeah, they can create exceptional details. There's that one. Put that here. And before we move over to Tarmac and introduce the Tarmac cars that I've got, I want to give you a little bonus point to Mini GT, because what's very interesting since I showed the F1 Premium is the most common question is, will Hot Wheels do vintage F1 or older F1 cars? I do not know the answer, but we do know the answer with Mini GT, and the answer is yes. And there's a billion they could do, obviously, and they've done some signature F1 cars like the Tyrrell, and the John Player, Lotus, but yeah, and look, and it's to scale, so it's so small compared to the current F1. Look at that. I mean, that's just so. Mini GT, if we're going just on releases, Mini GT alone, because of the vintage race cars, is going to win this. And deservedly so. Hot Wheels might be working on something like that. And obviously, they've done the Tyrrell before in basic. But if they're going to do this premium level stuff, it might be very interesting to do like an F1 vintage racing line, which may or may not be successful. I have no idea. I have no idea what, Hot Wheels is doing their market research. If they feel like it's something that's worth it, I'm sure they'll do it, but we don't know yet. All right, let's talk Tarmac. This is actually Tarmac on IXO. They work together on this one. Obviously, this is George Russell's from 2020, so we're going a little older here. I've mentioned this one is much lighter, but let's put it on the turntable. And the level of detail that we saw with the other two, Hot Wheels and Mini GT, we're holding their own here too. For sure. Getting that cool Mercedes Patronus look. So that one is very nice. And I brought out, this is one I haven't opened as well, and I have no idea the level of premium. This is a members, Tarmac does their owners club. This is the 2023 members car. George Russell. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just open it for this. Really, really cool packaging on this. And I believe, yeah, we'll do it here. So, George Russell, Mercedes. Should be, yep. Have that magnetized cover. Oh, yeah. I may not open this one just because it might be a little bit involved, but they've got this cool membership card. This is, it's not the point of this video, but these are pretty cool. These club cars that Tarmac Works does. This is like, the membership card is metal. I'm going to leave that. Leave that in there. And then the car itself, look at that. Wow, that is pretty awesome. All right, I'll have to put it on I won't take it off the plinth, but I'll at least put it on the turntable. Look, whoo, wow. I think it's the same casting. That is phenomenal. Mercedes-AMG F1 W13 E-Performance, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell Mercedes-AMG 55th Anniversary Show Car. So this is a show car. That's pretty stunning. All right. So we can see what Tarmac does with their Ultra Premium and with IXO. That's a beautiful model. Wow. And then, so yeah, we're going all the way from the basic to the premiums, and then we've got that beautiful Tarmac piece. Where did I put this one? All right, so, okay, let's do some comparisons. We've already done the speed test. We've done the packaging test. Speed test, tie. Honestly, truly a tie. Weight test, Hot Wheels. By far, it is, and I would say it should be Hot Wheels. So if you're going like weight to branding and expectation ratio, they all kind of go where they need to go. Tarmac is the lightest. Doesn't have a good feel to it, to be honest. Mini GT has a decent feel to it, but Hot Wheels has the best feel, and you would expect that. You would expect that weight to be there, so Hot Wheels wins that one. Packaging, Mini GT, hands down. I understand the blisters with Hot Wheels, but the plinth, I'm not really into the plinth. I like these cars, you know, if I'm going to display them, I'd rather display them. I'd rather display them this way. So Hot Wheels, so Mini GT wins packaging, and the Tarmac is essentially the same. That's fancy packaging with the membership, but that's not the standard packaging. But with the standard, I just think Mini GT wins. It's also every box is the same size, which I appreciate. For storing and everything else. The Tarmac stuff's nice, but I like the Mini GT a little bit better for packaging. And now we get into the details of the castings themselves. Our basics, let's just move them off to the side a little bit. And let's just go for it. Should we go Oracle versus Oracle? I understand that the years might be slightly different, but here we are. Mini GT, Hot Wheels. Now the first thing you say is they're both pretty good, right? Like this one has like the spoilers and all of these other details are all plastic, but aesthetically it's better in plastic because it's more proportioned. But even that being said, the metal that Hot Wheels is using is pretty crisp as well, all things considered. So it adds to the weight and to the quality feel. So the quality feel, Hot Wheels wins too. Wheels. Okay, so look, obviously your winner on Tampo prints. There's just not even a question. I'm sure there would be some arguments with Hot Wheels on, well, you know, how these are produced and manufactured and distributed and everything. It's a different system, and the cost, you know, these are going to be more expensive, but there is, arguments aside, look at the two tag Hoyers, you know, it's got to be Mini GT. If we bring in Tarmac to compare to the Mini GT, it is definitely more crisp. I'm putting the Tarmac at third, and I just think like we can put the details here. Obviously this is an older car versus a replica of an older car, but the Tarmac weight, just because its weight is just so different. When you're trying to put all of this together, the Tarmac, because of the weight and feel and the fact that they feel fragile and somewhat, I don't know, they're going to be in third place, but still a very nice third. The weight on this really is good. But I guess it really depends on what you want to do with these. If you're displaying them, this carbon fiber treatment here versus just the plastic treatment here, that's going to Mini GT as well, right? Looks-wise, Mini GT wins. Feel-wise, Hot Wheels wins. But I'll still attest, I think the basics win. This is really hard. I mean, well, it's not hard. I guess it just depends on your approach, right? Depends on how you want to collect these. And there's a reason I collect Mini GT, and there's a reason I collect Hot Wheels, and both of these play so perfectly into that. Let's we can pull out this. I know it's not Haas versus Haas, but You know, we can pull out, this is the Mini GT, this is the Hot Wheels, and everything still applies. Like the up close, the tampos are not as good on the Hot Wheels as it is on the Mini GT. The carbon fiber treatment on the Mini GT is amazing. Obviously, you can see around the wheels the differences here that are very nice with the Mini GT, but still, that's a really good Hot Wheels, and this is a fantastic Mini GT. The baseline for Mini GT is it will be somewhat fragile, but it's got to look, oh, next to perfect, right, from a 1/64 scale. Hot Wheels is, it's got to be, it's premium, we're paying a lot for it, so it's got to be a very, very nice, like as close to realistic, but still a Hot Wheels Hot Wheels. Does that make sense? And they both hit it out of the park. So you could score them based on, is this Mini GT at its best or Hot Wheels at its best? And the answer for both is yes. And then it's just a matter of what your personal preference is here on how you collect. They're both really, really well done. Okay, we've done close-ups. Let's get out McLaren. Mini GT McLaren. We'll get Hot Wheels McLaren soon, obviously. I'll put it up against Alpine here. Everything still applies. That McLaren. Here, you want different? Here, I'll go. How about this? Now who wins? Yeah. Still though, right? Not bad for the Hot Wheels for a toy car. That is a true toy car, and it's nice. All right. I think we're done. I think we know where we're at, right? I think we know where we're at. Let's build a racetrack here. Our basics, they can park along here. Honestly, if just to the naked eyes I'm doing this, I'm kind of like, okay, wait, which one is which? And then I pick them up and I know. So that has something to do with it, right? That makes some sense. Poor Williams over here out of the shot. I do like those basics, honestly. And then I think these are all Hot Wheels that I'm picking up. Yeah. And that's, no wait, which one is, see now I honestly like, there, that's a Mini GT. That's a Hot Wheels. That's a Hot Wheels. That's a Mini GT. That's a Hot Wheels. That's a Mini GT. Put the other Hot Wheels over here, and since they're dealing with 9, we can just get a little run through. There you go. I'd love your thoughts. I tried to show the best I can, doing the comparisons and contrasts and try and be fair. I think F1 is getting more and more popular in the United States. It's already massively popular in other areas. This is going to help. The F1 5-pack has been so popular. The F1 cars go off the pegs. The basics go off the pegs very, very quickly. They're highly collectible. And then you've got these amazing premiums that I think will be pretty popular as well. We'll have to see based on the cost and everything. But all worth it. Mini GT's approach, Tarmac's approach, and Hot Wheels approach, of course. I think these are all great. And yeah, hooray. Lamley likes everything. That's okay. You guys tell me what you think. I want your thoughts. We all win. Bye.